What's up, everyone? It's your girl Concrete Rose here to bring you yet another vibe session. Today we are going to be talking about melanin, and this is a video that is ridiculously overdue considering the fact that I made a blog post in 2016 considered entitled "What's Your Shade?" And here we are in January 2020, and I'm just now doing a video on this, but it's a timeless conversation, so I figured it's better late than never. However, I did do a video, a vibe session in the summer of 2017 where we talked about the color complex and just basically the political woes that we as black people have when it comes to shade politics, from the whole concept of the lighter the better, or the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Politics like that will forever keep us divided on so many spectrums because of so many different things. And there's even books that are like years old that talk about the color complex and how it's a thing that cripples us, and those books are even timeless. So that speaks volumes in terms of us as black people and how we view ourselves personally when it comes to skin complexion and skin color as a whole. It'll forever keep us divided. But that's not really what we're going to talk about today. Today I just really want to talk about melanin and what it is beyond the idea of melanin means black or African American or of African descent, because the word melanin is literally a hashtag now. You can hashtag melanin, you can hashtag melanin magic, you can hashtag my melanin is popping or melanin popping, things like that, because it is such a trendy movement. But beyond that, the really big question is, do we know what melanin is and why it is something that is so important? Now, before we get into that, if you're somebody that's like, what is melanin? What is she talking about? If you look up the definition of melanin, like if you just Google it, you will find that the definition of melanin is a black or brown substance that is naturally found in a person's hair, skin, or eyes. It is also a black or brown pigment or color that can be found in plants as well as animals that have a wide variety of ranges of hues, from dark brown to light brown to a yellowish to a reddish pigment. Okay, so melanin is literally in everything. And if you're a nerd and you're like, well, what's the chemical compounds or what's the chemical makeup of it, here it is. I hope you didn't expect me to break that down. Let's all remember that I'm the girl that stutters. That was going to be comical to watch, okay? Alright. But moving forward, let's be clear when I literally mean that melanin is in just about everything and everyone. Yes, we as black people, people of African descent, people of color, we are melanin dominant, okay? Yes, we have darker skin complexions, we have different eye colors, a darker eye color, and we have darker hair, and melanin also has something to do with the hair texture. Let's remember that as well, okay? However, melanin is the very first component when life is conceived. Melanin wraps around the sperm as well as the egg, and melanin is one of the dominant things that helps the egg to become fertilized and grow inside of a woman's womb. Melanin is needed from the start of conception, okay? So with that being said, everyone has melanin. It is a matter of, are you melanin dominant are melanin recessive. So when we look at Caucasians, people of European descent, they still have a tiny bit of melanin in them. That is why you may see some of them that have blue eyes or gray eyes or whatever eye color it is, even people that have freckles. And let's be mindful that if you are considered a ginger, you do have melanin in you. However, they are still melanin recessive, all right? Now, for those of us that are of African descent in any way, shape, or form, we have a darker skin complexion, and that gives us a wide range of skin complexions from light brown to dark brown to black to midnight, whatever you want to call it. That means that we are melanin recessive. We also have darker colored eyes. I know that there are a lot of people that feel some type of way that they don't have the brown eyes or the hazel eyes, the blue, whatever the case may be, they just have black eyes or dark brown eyes. A lot of us wish that we had colored eyes. Let's be clear, we have colored eyes. Matter of fact, we have the darkest colored eyes, which means that we are melanin dominant to the core, and that is something that we are blessed with, okay? You may be like, well, why is that a blessing? Well, when it comes to having melanin, that means that we have a lower percentage of a chance of getting skin cancer. A lot of us will say, well, oh, you shouldn't be in the sun too long, you're going to get skin cancer, things like that. Well, because we are melanin dominant people, and the darker you are, that means that you are more dominant than others. That means that you still have a lower percentage rate of getting skin cancer, because our melanin, us, the people that are melanin dominant, our melanin, our skin color is something that protects us from the rays of the sun, which helps us to shield ourselves, which helps us to not get cancer. Okay. Also, when it comes to skin cancer, or when it comes to the sun, because we are people that are melanin dominant, we can absorb the sun. We are a people that naturally absorb energy. Energy travels by sound and light. We naturally absorb energy because melanin is an absorber of all things energy. When it comes to absorbing the sun, we take in the sun, we lock it in, that recharges us. Now, of course, if you stay in the sun all day long, you are going to naturally be tired. However, when we stay in the sun for long periods of time, that charges us. We are charging our melanin. We are charging our body. That is something that is very beautiful. We can stay in the sun, and if we get darker, that doesn't mean that we have suntan or that we're burnt. No. The darker the skin gets, that is a protection mechanism that is shielding us from the sun rays from getting skin cancer. That is like a superpower that we naturally have, okay? Now, yes, people that are melanin recessive, you easily get sunburnt. That means that you easily get skin cancer. So those are the two extreme spectrums of being melanin dominant and melanin recessive, all right? Now, back to the cool part of absorbing light and sound. Another cool thing about melanin is that, again, like I said, we absorb sound. That is another energy, because we are a big ball of energy. Melanin, the cool thing about melanin is that when it takes stuff in, it also sends stuff out. We are a continual ball of working energy, whether positive or negative, and we're going to touch on that as well. Now, because we are light-bodied people and that we always are absorbing things that are of energy, that's why we are people that we are musically inclined in one way or another. We are either somebody that, you know, we sing, we rap, we dance, we can remember lyrics. We have a natural rhythm about us that a lot of other people do not have. That is the melanin at work. We can absorb that, because the thing about energy is that energy is always of charging. Well, not always, because energy can either charge you or drain you, right? So when we are taking in sound energy, it is important to be cognizant of the type of energy that we are taking in when it comes to sound, because we absorb it, again, we hold it and we lock it in. So if we are people that are constantly listening to negative music like trap music, this is not any shade, this is not any tea, but this is just straight facts, right? If we are people that are constantly listening to trap music and music about drugs and selling drugs, doing drugs, killing people, F this, be that, you know, things like that, that's something that we're going to literally take on. It's going to be like memory to our melanin, right? And that's something that's toxic, because we're going to keep that in. And the more we take that in on an everyday, consistent basis, if that is our diet, we are eventually going to ooze that out in some way. It is going to show up in the way that we act. That's the beautiful thing about melanin, but it's something that we have to be cognizant of. That's why when music was something that was fresh, and we always hear people say that we want to go back to the music like the old days, like we want that old thing back, right? Well, one of the old things that we had was vinyl records that I love, that's coming back, right? Vinyl records are made of carbon. Carbon is one of the things that's in melanin. And carbon is something that it charges you. Carbon is also something that can detoxify the atmosphere. So a lot of stuff was put on record. It was put on carbon. It was on vinyl, right? Also, the needle that we play the record on, that is also something that is made out of carbon. So music at that time was literally pure. It was soul music. It was music for the soul. It's something that fed us. It made us feel good. It brought us together, right? Well, now music is doing the total opposite. Now, again, when I say that we absorb energy, melanin absorbs energy. Energy is sun, it is sound, it's frequency. So when it comes to the satellites, when it comes to different types of rays and x-ray, stuff like that, certain type of frequencies are toxic. Now everything is on a different frequency, and that's toxic to us as a people. It's toxic to our body. It's toxic to our genetic makeup on a literal level. So these are things that we have to be cognizant of. Now, on another level of melanin, we can always find ways to clean and clear our melanin in this day, age, and time, with a lot of things being toxic and a lot of things being very different. Now, melanin, we are made up of the same components as the earth. As above, so below. We are made of the same components of the earth. Yes, melanin, it's a dark hue. It's something that's in plants, right? A dark hue that's in plants, a black or brown pigment. So dirt, soil, certain plants, certain herbs, certain spices, that's also around us. So it's important to consume those things within us. You don't want to eat dirt, but you can definitely consume other herbs and spices, right? Whatever the case may be. So in that, we can always purify our melanin, even when it comes to, again, the sun. Us soaking up the sun, being in the sun, I'll say it 1,000 times, is not a bad thing. It is so common now to say, I don't want to go outside because I'm already dark. That's even more of a reason to get out in the sun. Become connected with nature. Charge your melanin, because the more you charge your melanin, the more you are cleansing it. You're literally cleansing your body. When it comes to certain music, turn off the trap music. Tune into some binaural beats, some different hertz, just even some uplifting music that is not what we're constantly listening to will recharge you and cleanse you. On a dietary level, more green leafy, dark green leafy vegetables, other things that are orangish and reddish, different pigmented fruits and vegetables. That's cleansing your melanin. That's taking all of the toxins out of you, because the more you feel better, the more you do better, the more you think better. because, and you may not think that that's important to how we think, but it is, because melanin is one of the important things that gets our thyroid glands working. It's an important chemical for our pineal gland that helps us with our better sleep realm. It helps us more on a cognizant level of how we think. It recharges our nervous system. This is something that is literally that keeps us alive. And we as people of color, this is something that we have to take care of. It is more important for us to really take care of ourselves on every level, from the music that we listen to, from the things that we eat, from just being out in the sun and being one with everything that's around us on a natural nature level, because that's what we used to do, because we understood the importance of that. And that is something that is lost. And that's why we have a lot of the issues that we have, because we are not taking care of our melanin. That is something that is beyond the importance. Once we start to take care of ourselves, then everything will naturally fall into its alignment, its divine order. That is my real deal vibe session, my TED Talk, my spill on melanin. I will definitely put this up on my Patreon channel. I'll definitely put the link from my blog about melanin, because on that blog it has all of the links and things that if you want to look into this on your own, of course, do some more research. I'm still doing research on it. I definitely want you to do the research on it, because these are things that are definitely important, and these are things that they will not tell you unless you inquire for your own knowledge and wisdom's sake, right? So thank you for tuning in. If this is something that you felt was a food for thought, if this is something that was definitely important to you, you didn't know, definitely support, definitely become a Patreon on my Patreon channel. I'll be posting more things like this, along with a wide variety of other videos for meditation and yoga, and blog posts as well about all of the cool things that I like to nerd out about that help me, and I want to help you and share. So yes, share this, become a Patreon. I'll have the link up. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, afternoon, day, whatever time you're watching this video. Have a wonderful day.